going to Walmart today to have a look at what's available in a value store for Walmart choices. Let's go have a look. So this is my aisle, and I pretty much have about 2/3 of an aisle of yarn in my Walmart. It's not a whole lot, but we do, have some basic options. Now at the back of the aisle, they do have the mainstays, which is the Walmart Value 100% acrylic yarn, and it is 397 yards. It is a 4-weight and doesn't feel too bad at all. It is made in, used to be made in Turkey, but let's see here. Where's it being made at now? I think it said India. Okay, so either they were not made in Turkey before or they're now being made in India and I was wrong. But anyway, they feel pretty nice. They're about what did that say? 248 a skein. We do have some variegated options there. 298 a skein. And you're not going to get a whole lot of colors, but you are going to be able to get some yarn at a pretty good value price. I haven't swatched these and washed them, so I don't know how they work out in the long run, but here's kind of a little quick overview. And they did have some larger ones up at the top here, 5 something, and this is going to be 798 yards, 14 ounces, but they only had about a handful of colors in that. Next to that, we do have the Red Heart Super Saver, and Walmart does have quite a few options in this brand. Not a whole ton of colors, but they do have enough to really, be able to do a lot of things with. So this was a jumbo, and this one is made in Turkey. They used to be made in the USA of imported fibers, but they are no longer made in the USA. So they're being made in Turkey, in India, and Canada, and they all feel a bit different, so just kind of feel them out and see which one feels best to you. I prefer the ones made in Turkey. I think they feel the softest, but that's just kind of good to know. It's been a change over the last year. Here is another jumbo. This is a jumbo with some stripes in it. Those are going to be a smaller bit of yardage than the solid jumbos, but it's nice to have the option. This does not have the little USA tag on it, so you know that these are the ones that have come out of the current production factories. Here's these stripes. Sorry. There's another jumbo there. And here is an ombre. Did it say 48? Yeah. Now, this particular one is made in the USA. It does have the USA emblem on it. There was some drama over these ombres because the newer ones were not being made with the same dye colors, and yet they were still calling the newer skeins without the USA emblem the same colors. So you went to go buy them just looking for the color, and the colors were so off, it really did not match the project at all. So if you're buying the ombres, there are still the USA ones available out there. Here's one without the USA mark on there. So just make sure you're either buying all flags or no flags so that your project will match. And I do have a video on that I will try to upload here. Here you can see some of the information on here. This one is made in Turkey. And again, it does feel different than the ones that were made in the USA, which were softer. The ones made in Turkey are the next softest. And then I think the Canada and India ones are a little bit less soft. Now here we have some Lion Brand Hometown. And this is, I think it's a 6-weight. Is this a 6-weight? Maybe a 5-weight, but it's pretty thick. Like, it makes a pretty thick piece of fabric when you knit with it, and it's a little bit thicker than that when you crochet with it. So it's pretty heavy piece of fabric here. Here you can see the ounces. It is 64 ounces, and didn't catch the yardage on there. We have quite a bit of this. Whoops, these are in the wrong place. Well, let's just go put those where they belong. Down here, the Caron Simply Soft. The labels are missing. They're usually under $4, but they only usually have about maybe 4 or 5 colors. So they're really limited in their color options, but today they only had these 2. Here we have some baby yarn, baby blanket. Now, my Walmart has a lot of the big baby yarns and the big baby blanket yarns by Bernat. I'm not really sure why, but they just have a lot of them. I guess they assume that's what we're all buying. And maybe it is because, that's what they have. This puzzle yarn is in the wrong place, but it is really pretty. Premier puzzle yarn. 328 yards, did that say? I believe that's under $8. Here is a Walmart Mainstay brand. Now this confused me because this said $5, but cost of yarn was not on the label. It said like a willow yarn, and this is not unusual for my Walmart. Here's some woolies up in there. There's just stuff is just everywhere. You can't really trust the labels that the things are in the right places. I did stop the video and scan this, and it turned out this was $8 on clearance. So the woolies though was not $5. That was still a regular price. So I never did figure out what this willow was for $5. But here we have the Lion Brand Woolies, which is really a nice yarn. This is the Thick and Quick. They do make a 4-weight, but they don't have it here at this Walmart. Here's some more. Behind there you see, I think that's a Bloom yarn back there. Like I said, the shelves in my Walmart, everything is just a jumble. $5.50 for this Serenity yarn, and I did check that, and it is $5.50 for this big old 328 yard 10.5 ounce ball of Serenity yarn. It is a 5 bulky, and I've used this before. It is really nice to work with. It feels good in your hands. It works up nice. It makes a nice squishy soft project. But this is the only color they had, even up in the overflow. Just this gray here, so no other colors of the Serenity. It was too bad. It's a really nice yarn. Here we get into some more Mainstay, like thick blanket yarn. This is like some furry, kind of tubular-ish yarn. And then we found the Bloom Chunky Big. It's not big because the yarn is really particularly big. It's just big because 218 yards and 7 ounce ball is a big ball. And usually you find this in smaller balls elsewhere. It's kind of like a bonus ball just for Walmart. And I do have this, and it works up really nice. I'm knitting a scarf, and the knitted scarf actually feels better than the yarn that's on the ball as it stands. So that's nice stuff. I really did enjoy that. Here we have some more woolies, of course, not in the same place as the other woolies, not surprised. Here's more puzzle yarn. This one is really pretty. Isn't that pretty? Now we come up to the mandala. Now they've always had a lot of mandala at my particular Walmart. I think they have an agreement with them about something, but they never change the colors. They've had these colors for years. Here we're looking at the sequins and the sparkle, and the sequins were on sale for or clearance for $5. Just the sequin ones, none of the others. I'm not particularly a big fan of the original mandala or the baby mandala. I don't really like how it feels, but I really liked how this felt. So I've got a couple of these clearance ones to work with in the sapphire, I believe. Got to kind of dig to find which ones are the ones that are on clearance. So not the sparkles. Here is a baby. And again, I just wasn't really a fan of how it feels. I don't like how it feels in my hands when I'm working it up. But like Red Heart Super Saver, it does soften up when you wash your finished item. I just don't enjoy working with it. This is the ombre. I do have some of that, and that I actually like how it feels when I'm working with it. It just has a different feel, but they're both 100% acrylic, so I don't know if it's the dyeing process or the spinning and preparation of the acrylic yarn that makes it different, but this is really nice. It's nice to work with. It's a nice finished product. It washes nice. The entire process is nice, so I really do like the ombre. The same thing with the mandala watercolor is also nice. And they now have an Impressions, which is like a chunky version of that, and I think it's going to be nice too. I do have that color in my stash right there. I think it's Groot. I liked the colors and I got it, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. That was before I started working with it. This one is nice. It's another ombre, I believe. Don't have that one, but it's really pretty. I would like it. Now we're looking at the Kobu at $4.47, and it is a combination of cotton and bamboo from rayon. And I would love to make a summer shirt out of this, a summer top. 232 yards, 3.5 ounces. Today they only had this brown color, but they usually have like maybe 3-4 colors in that Kobu at my Walmart. Oh, I did see a white sitting there too. But that's the Lion brand. And I did snag some of that sparkle. $3.48, we're looking at the Mainstays cotton. This is what I would call a garment quality cotton. It's soft enough. I would make a garment top out of this type of cotton. It reminds me a lot of the Hobby Lobby. I love this cotton, but it has more limited colors, so there aren't as many color options. But it feels really nice. That's another one I would like to get a skein and swatch and wash and see how it comes out. Now this is the low pill or anti-pill acrylic, the Mainstays version. It felt nice and squishy. It is a 4-weight. What is that? 240.6 yards. My mother has used this and she really likes it, and it feels very soft, I will say. We're looking here at some Red Heart nylon crochet thread. I do not know what you use that for. If anyone knows and you're watching this, you can drop it in the comments. We'd love to know. But $2.97, they had just a few colors of that. The usual Walmart mess, of course. And we come to what I call the utility yarns. A lot of people call these kitchen cotton. This is utility cotton, excuse me. It's a lot rougher. It's not something I would make a garment out of, but I would definitely use this to make like a market bag or some kitchen scrubbies or some towels or something like accessory wise like that you're not going to wear. They have it here called the Peaches and Cream. They also have it in the big Peaches and Cream cones for $9 and some change. And it's just under $2 for those little skeins down there. And that is pretty much my yarn department at Walmart. It was pretty full on this day. Sometimes you can get some big holes in there and they tend to stay that way for a while. And then they restock and it stays, you know, kind of full for a little bit. There's some scrubby yarn down there. And you also have the option of a lot of tools here at Walmart. These are kind of like beginner starter tools. So you've got the crochet hooks and some basic knitting needles, some circulars, some single points. They have this little bit of DMC crochet thread, and I'm always like thrown by that. It's not the full set of DMC, so if you're a crocheter or embroiderer, you're not likely to find many of the colors you need. It's just a little bit of the thread, and it always throws me that they just have that little bit. And here you can see I did pick up the mandala sequins yarn. So there you go.